Hi guys, today we are looking at the Realism VFX add-on from Spark Universe. First, we had the Realism Craft World, and now we have Realism VFX to add to any world that you create. Let's check this out. Alright guys, here we are in the world, and there are a couple things I want to talk about the add-on pack, but before that, let's check out some of the items that I've got in my hotbar. Let's check out the Realism VFX guidebook. Now, it's a very big book, as you can see, and in here it tells you about all of the VFX lists and all of the clever water and rain, the immersive sound, the dynamic light, all of that good stuff, and the summon VFX, which we're going to be doing in a minute. Now let's close these two up. Let's gain them again. Now, let's set it to nighttime. Midnight. And let's do our first VFX setting, the shooting star. Now, if we summon it down, as you can see, it will start to just slowly just put a couple shooting stars down, which I think's pretty cool, how it like starts really small and then gets a bit bigger later on. I think that's a cool feature about this. Of course, it is the exact same as the one in the Realism Craft 1, which this pack derives from. Now, let's check out the trigger meteor shower. Let me just pop that down, and the first thing you'll notice is it is exactly like the triggering shooting star one, except there are hundreds more of the shooting stars. It's so cool how the meteors just crash into the ground. I'm joking, not like actually crash into the ground. It would be cool if they did, but unfortunately they don't, and that would wreak a lot of havoc. Now, this is pretty cool, but let's move on to the next one. Now, something you should notice here is if I come over here and place this down, it says this effect can only be used in frozen biomes. So, if we go over to the frozen biome here, and we check this out by placing it down on the ground, as you'll see, loads and loads of hail comes down along with all of the wind, and it is very, very noisy. It can also only be activated in this type of biome, just like the sandstorm, but unfortunately we don't have a sandy area near us, so we can't check that one out. Now, let's check out Northern Lights. Let's come over here, and here we go. Now, what you'll start to notice is, yes, it can come in different colours. Purple and bluey, and very, very, very bright green. It is extremely bright. It gets bigger and brighter, the green one does, the longer it takes. Which I think is one of the best effects about this. Like, look at that, how it curves around, and so does the purple one. Like, it curves all around me. It's really epic. I really like it. This next one I'm going to show you is probably my favourite. Now let's move over to the grassy area, and let's place down some fireflies. Now, the first thing you'll start to notice as soon as I place these down is there are a lot of them. I think it spawns about 5 in one click, which is pretty good. And I think it's really cool because you could just be relaxing in like a nice ocean home or something, and then all the fireflies come out and it's just lovely. Well, let's move on to the daytime ones. First, we have the birds. Yep, all the birds come across you in the sky. Now you can actually use this if you don't see any birds coming by already, which can be very helpful, like as you just saw those birds go across there. Now, let's move on to tumbleweed. Tumbleweed will blow in the wind, but you can also just knock it around. Like, watch me. I'll go onto the floor, and bang. I just start knocking it around like a football. Yeah, going into the goal. There we go. Boom. And eventually it will break after you've hit it for a certain amount of times. And if you just punch it straight away, it just breaks into a bunch of sticks. Nice. Next is trigger leaves. Now this is one of the lesser ones, but I like it. Just place it down and leaves come to the ground. If you place it again, what you'll notice is all the leaves that were there previously still stay onto the ground, which is pretty epic. I like that. Nice. There's one here that I've got which is very lovely, and it is the rainbow. Now, let's place this down. There you have it. The giant rainbow slowly fades into existence. Look at it, it's amazing. One clever feature about this is if you try to go to the end of it, it will move just like it would in real life. But unfortunately, eventually, it will fade away. Also, the closer you get to it, the more it fades away. But even if you stay from the same angle as before, it will eventually, as you can see from the sides, it will eventually fade away into nothingness and back into the air again. Which is unfortunate, but it's a very cool effect. Like I mentioned at the beginning, I wanted you to talk about something, guys. And that's the animals. If you've seen my video on the pack before this, which is the Realism Craft World Pack, it is very good in it how they have different variations of the animals and different animations. Like they have a different running animation. My running animation is the same, and so are the animals. The swimming, I'll even show you the little splash effect. Now, they do have the splash effect inside, and of course they have the bubble effects, but they don't have a new swimming effect, which they do in the Realism Craft pack. Which is very unfortunate, because I really like the way they made the sheeps, the chickens, the horses, and everything look. I think it looks amazing, but unfortunately in this they don't have that. Now, another thing I want to say about this pack is even the mobs. Now, the mobs, the entity, like evil ones, which try to harm you at night, I'll even set it to night to show you guys. If I just set it to night right now, and of course the mobs will start spawning in, let's find one quickly. Here you go, here's an example, the Iron Golem. Look, no different texture. Even the new even the little skeleton guys, no new texture. There's no texture of any of them, which I think personally downgrades my review on this. I think it is really cool for adding into any world, and you can have so many cool effects and everything with it, but of course there are no new animations running around, and there's no new features of everything. They do have some of the features, like the boat over here, where you can of course find the boat and golden treasure in it. But they've only got a couple of the structures, not all of them. That pillager tower would be a lot, and I mean a lot, taller, but it unfortunately is not one of the new textured ones. So, my review and my rating is going to be a 6 out of 10. I think the reason for that is its two downfalls, the animation and the texture, but it's still good for the effects. But in this round, I think the original version, which is the Realism Craft World Pack, which you can't add into any world, takes over this one, because I think, let's be real, the Realism Craft Pack definitely has a lot more items in it and is a lot of fun to play with friends. But anyways, aside from that, I really hope you guys enjoyed, and if you did, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a lovely day. Bye.